As far back as man could pick up stone tools, to the splitting of the atom, to world-ending fusion bombs, man has held the capacity to end another's life with no hesitation. That being said, humans have always attempted to make their suffering have meaning. This could be in the form of art, religion, rituals, comedy, and a form of human sacrification, that being the gladiator games going back to the Roman era. Peasants, slaves, and captured warriors fought, survived, and died to continue the cycle of making their suffering have meaning. Some of these portraits of human suffering can be inexplicably wild and verbose, while others can be staunch and serious. Such as Leon Cogniet's painting, Scene of the Massacre of the Innocents. In this snapshot, we are transported to Bethlehem in the years immediately following the birth of Christ. This painting depicts the massacre of innocents, the order believed to have been ordained by King Harold. The order called for the extermination of all children 2 or older. King Harold saw the coming of Christ as an indirect opposition to his power, so he sought to crush it. Leon's painting only really implies what is occurring throughout the city. To the left-hand side, we see a woman holding 2 infants. A soldier lurks behind her. Is this woman the children's mother? Or perhaps a good Samaritan just trying to ensure these children survive? To the right, the so-called subject of the painting, a woman, cowards in the corner, holding an infant, basked in a white glow. She looks at you. What do her eyes say to you? Who are you? Are you another mother, locking eyes, and you can't see the soldier coming down the stairs? Are you a soldier, coming to put an end to the life of the child? Or perhaps you are a child, and this woman, all she can do is look at you. She can't scream, that will give away her position. She can't run, because she will be run down. All she can do is wait. This has occurred all throughout human history. The innocents, the young, the old, the disabled have been sacrificed to keep those in power in power. On October 7th, 2023, Hamas and the PFLP conducted a highly sophisticated jailbreak from the world's largest open-air prison, the Gaza Strip. For the last 75 years, the so-called Israeli state has stolen more and more territory from the indigenous populations of Palestine. Thousands displaced and killed year after year for the gains of not only settlers, but for Western capitalists, to maintain and establish the world's largest military base in order to keep the regional powers in line with whatever the ruling class demands. Routinely, the Israeli occupation forces have conducted what they deem mowing the lawn. Israelis will conduct indiscriminate bombing and raids to keep the indigenous population in line. I've tried to record this next part several times, but the numbers just keep going higher and higher. So whenever you listen to this video, you just have to look up yourself the death toll. But I originally started writing the script on October 19th, and at the time it was 3,000 confirmed Palestinians dead. Most of them were children, and whatever number it is at now, I am willing to guarantee it is still mostly children, since Palestinians' population is almost 50% children. Just like in Leon's painting, King Harold has ordered the massacre of children, much like what the Israeli occupation forces have been doing to Palestine throughout the month of October 2023. Fascist and apartheid regimes have always historically mowed the lawn and targeted innocent people in order to maintain their power. Hitler did this with his extermination of Jews. The United States did this with the genocide of natives. And now Israel does this with the Palestinians. Well, they have been, but now it's gotten much, much worse. The mode of production has changed throughout human history. In King Harold's time, it was never thought that one could go against the divine right of the king, a man ordained by God, until people did. Would feudal lords reign supreme and landlords could work the peasants to the bone, few thought that something would come after the lords. Until people did. When the capitalists demand infinite growth on a finite planet, that people give up their personal lives and families for a minimum wage, that resources from the third world be brought to the empire, when the system thrashes about in survival and leads to the wholesale massacre of innocents, people don't think anything could come after capitalism. Until people do. The mode of production has changed throughout human history and will change again. It is inevitable, but it is not inevitable in the sense that a socialist society is simply guaranteed. As long as the capitalist contradictions keep occurring, people will begin to look at what can come after capitalism. They will routinely come back to the ideas of socialism and communism. As we near the end of 2023, we are staring down the barrel of a multipolar world. The Russians pushing back against NATO, China securing its sovereignty, and now the nations of West Asia are standing up against the United States pet project. Leon's painting is as much a look into biblical times as it is a portal to the present day. Somewhere, right now, there is a woman holding onto her baby as she stares not only at her death, but her child's death in the face. And all she can do is look. What will you do? On November 4th, 2023, there's going to be a massive demonstration in Washington, D.C., hosted by the Palestinian Youth Movement and all these other organizations and all these other co-sponsors. This is a time where we can stand up against the government outside of our perceived ideology. Kollectiv ourselves will be headed to Washington, D.C. on November 4th. Currently, we are collecting money. Any money will help get us down there for food and gas and lodging, and would just be reinvested back into the channel. And if you don't want to give us anything, the Answer Coalition and the Palestinian Youth Movement are also accepting donations. Or you can just like and share this video, like and share our TikToks, spread the word, talk about what is going on. We cannot look away. All we can do is look and say something.